medical doctors have been forced by the Canadian Health Organization to use a new guideline. And this guideline is creating a lot of trouble. The guideline and the guidance is basically asking patients when it's time, when they deem it's time to, So this is a brand new guidance. I'm sure you heard about these stories where, most institutions in the world, they have a possibility of, we're not going to use the words because you already know, you know the drill. In most institutions in the world, when a patient reach a level where it clearly looks like it's just 2 minutes away to what we're talking about, the patient will be gifted an opportunity to do it themselves or to be induced DEL. Okay, I say DEL. You know DEL means? We have to use those techniques. So now the Canadian Health Association have ordered doctors to, from now on, come up with the idea. Tell the patient there's an option. Okay. So previously in the past, what will happen is the patient has to ask, like, it's very difficult now. I can't handle this anymore. My situation is such that there's no solution and it's terminal. I just want to go. I just want to leave. That is one thing. And what they're asking them to do is within different options that they have as a patient for treatment, there's also, shocking. So the name of the document is called Bringing Up Medical Assistance to Daing Patients. You know what Daing means. Bringing up medical assistance in Daing patients. That's what it is. And what's happening right now is many doctors are against it. They're not willing to use it. They're not happy about it. And it just creates major mayhem.
The question we need to ask as we're expanding laws is, which mistakes do we want to make? How many wrongful deaths are too many? In my opinion, any are too many. I think that there have been deaths by assisted dying for reasons that society would not support. That's how it would turn out.
So basically, fellas, Canada has come up with this story for patients that are really suffering. And between those patients, it's not just patients dealing with the physical situation. It's also patients that are, who have mental illness. Yes, it is included as any illness. Patient with mental illness can be asked to use that option because it's difficult for them. Like some people say, I'd rather not be here than live a very poor life. So you must remember, it sounds logical, but however, you have levels of mental illness. Okay. Some mental illnesses are very easily manageable. Some mental illnesses sometimes can be cured by themselves. So some part of the guidelines says you must make sure it's a situation where there's no cure or it's a situation clearly downward so you can come up with this option. Now this update says even people with mental illness now can be gifted an opportunity to hand themselves. Now big questions are being asked. How do you determine for a person who's supposedly mentally ill that it's time to go? So basically, okay, this is the option. We want to choose this option for you as a treatment. Yes, as a treatment. Because somebody can be very unhappy today and feel depressed. Some of these things are classified as mental illness because you're so depressed, you start doing things that are illogical. And they present you an option as, dude, it's about time. Now you can say goodbye. Thank you. Doesn't this sound similar to, I'm not going to say the word. The system they used to use to classify human beings, they believe that some humans are more important or more valuable than others. You know the word for that? Some humans are more valuable than others. There's them, there's other ones, there's probably you, then there's animals. You know the system. Okay. Let me just remind you. The man from Germany who did a lot of the wrong things, I'm not going to say his name either. You understand now. That man used that system. He was a staunch lecturer, staunch student of that system of believing that some humans are more valuable. They are more humans than others. And in fact, there are documents that prove that during that time, they finished many people that were mentally ill. Yes, because they wanted to the land. You get it? They finished a lot of people that was mentally ill. They finished a lot of people that were handicapped. So if you have physical handicap, you cannot walk properly like other people. They finish you because they think you are rubbish. You shouldn't have babies because you're not worth it. Now, Canada has been through a lot of things lately. We know during COVID, a lot of things happened. It was one of the staunchest country, one of the most dictatorial situation ever. Nobody really expected such things in a democratic country, or supposedly democratic. Many people were forced to take what you know, or else, yeah, you lose your job. Many people lost them jobs. Many people could not get out to go anywhere. And they say, it's for your good. We're doing it for your good, you know? And when things were so difficult, they said, you have to take it. You remember, I'm sure you remember, there were trackers that worked through the roads of Canada, many roads of Canada. Trackers came out to say, we can't do this. You cannot press people. You cannot force people to do that. We are adults. We can make our own choices. You remember what happened? Yeah. What happened was, many of these people's bank accounts were frozen. Many of these people's Visa cards couldn't work anymore. Many of these farmers and truckers, PayPal accounts, Stripe accounts, and many other things were blocked. So, and GoFundMe were blocked. Let's just think about that. Again, they were blocked in a way that they couldn't provide even for their own families. They couldn't buy food. They couldn't do anything because that's Justin Trudeau for you. Now, this government, through many sponsors, let me just remind you here that medical, as much as medical is good, we are very happy to have systems that work well and provide us with good health and good options. Medical industry is an industry. You know, an industry like any other industry, first goal is to generate revenue. So beyond the possibility of healing people, the possibility of making you feel good, the possibility of giving you options when those options are given, the first objective and goal of the medical industry is to bring return to investors. Every medication you see in the street has been invested into by businessmen. You think businessmen want to see you dance happy while they're losing money? No, they don't. They want to make money. So if you're going to be okay, their priority is the money first. So if you're going to be okay while they're making money, great. Now, if they have to choose between you being okay and their money, they are certainly going to choose one thing. Which one it is? Their own money. Now, this project of helping people to get to the other side, you know, the other side. You know what the other side is. Helping people go to the other side is not a free program. Okay, they get money from insurances. So whoever invested into getting this structure working and going right and making people cross to the other side is generating money. Many doctors are against this. Many doctors, they say they're not going to do it. And you know what the government and the medical system say? Oh, don't worry, we're going to provide you with training on how you can induce this, on how you can tell a patient that walks into a room, you examine them and you go, you know, I think we have an option that you can... It's fine. You will be help free from your misery.
When we stepped into this work, we had no experience in it. We had no model. It's a bit of a blind step in 2016, coming to new care without standards, without guidance, without training.
7 years later, CAMAP has government funding to build an accredited curriculum, but it won't be launched until later this year, and it won't be mandatory.
They say, no, we're going to give you training. Don't worry. I see you. Your deontology says that you should help people be healthy. Now we're asking you to help them go to the other side. But you just need more training. It's nothing wrong. You just need more training. You're going to be ready for this. Now, you know, this is basically what I would call a permanent solution for a temporary problem. Because, I mean, once you cross to the other side, there's no way back, but you can be healed of a mental disease. So some people obviously are very much against this. We have, for instance, a bioethicist from Toronto. A bioethicist is a person who studies ethical application of things in health system. Are you doing things right? Are you treating the patient good? Are you providing them with the medication they need? One of them was very angry. Kerry Bowman. He argued some people, no matter how well handled the conversation is, the fact that you speak to them about that possibility may infer their decision. So in other words, the medical system said you need to have a way of talking to the patient. Once you're presenting this, let me get you on the other side possibility. So you need to speak to them softly, nicely. You need to use the right vocabulary. So this person says it doesn't matter how well you speak to a person. It's not for you to tell them that they can. You can only look into that option once a patient say, I've had enough. I can't do this anymore. Because clearly they're already going. Physically, you can see there's no coming back. That is when you can apply this. But it's not your responsibility to bring this subject across. It's not for you to do. He continues saying, I also see it as very problematic when we bring medically assisted induced DEL up to the people who can't buy rent. Because some people that cannot buy rent can come and say, you know what? I've had enough. I think it's time for me to go. Or people who are living with disabilities. So people with disability can come say, listen, I think this is difficult for me. Please let me go. These people who are disability, who do not have adequate access to the things that they need. So this shouldn't be done. Another professor from Toronto named Trudeau Lemons, and Lemons say, you have a person who is severely depressed, where the nature of his illness is also accompanied by a desire to die. Because sometimes when a person is depressed, they want to go. The person takes a step and go and see a mental health counselor to get help. And is being told, as part of the informed consent procedure, we have treatments A, B, C, D. How do you think this is going to turn out? Fellas, the world is moving to a direction that is really obscure, very crazy. Let us look into statistics since this program of taking people to the other side has commenced. In 2021, 10,064 people enrolled and handled their own by assisted, you know what it is? The next year, 32% more people did it since they started it. Now, who were these patients? Had they all medical condition that had no options? Here, the reason why these people 54.2% of patients were concerned with being a burden to their own families. That's why they wanted to go to the other side. You hear that? 54%. You just felt, okay, I'm a burden. Maybe I don't have money. I think it's about time I leave. And they helped them do that. And among them, 92% were concerned with being less able to engage in activities making life enjoyable. So you just feel, okay, well, I've gotten fat. I had too much chocolate and stuff, pizzas and all that stuff. Now I cannot move anymore to go to the park. I think it's about time I leave. Those are the reasons. 93.3% were concerned with losing autonomy. Same thing. And 68.1% of those people were concerned with loss of dignity. Loss of dignity. They go to the medical doctor and they give them an option. It's about time we're going to medically induce into you. And they let them do it. Of the total who have gone since 1997, 27% have listed inadequate pain control or a concern about it as one of their end of life concern. So, okay, my body's so from time to time, my knees, so I think it's about time I leave. How ethical is this? What type of world are we moving towards? Canada has changed tremendously. It's moved from a country that it used to be to what it is today. And I bet you many people living in Canada can confirm this. It is looking indeed less and less like a democracy. Now, the issue we have here, doctors don't want to apply or implement this demand. They are fighting back. They don't want to do it. And now the medical powers have said, yes, we're going to provide you with additional training so you can start executing this. It's crazy, fellas. You know, in Africa, in most places, you don't see that happening. I mean, Africans are very resilient in most cases. It doesn't matter what situation you are. When you're in the hospital and it's clearly a situation where people feel like, you're going. You'll rarely see a situation where they say, we're going to medically whatever you. Because people are praying for you to be healed. People are praying for you to be cured. You know, even though there's no, people don't want to let you go. And I believe that's one of the strengths Africans have. Faith, belief, and also people are very much engaged with life, very connected to life. Unlike many other places in the world where people feel like, okay, I think I've lived enough. I've had enough pizzas. I think it's about time for me to go. What do you feel? You agree? God bless.